Hi, David Taub here with NextLevelGuitar.com. What's up, good people? How are ya? Thought we'd do a little chord progression today that will kind of incorporate a bunch of chords that we have been kind of teaching and explaining in the previous video lessons. This lessons we're going to throw in some major seventh chords, some minor seventh chords, maybe some dominant seventh chords, as well as your open position major and minor chords. You know, that's kind of like a good formula when you're starting guitar. You know, learn your open position chords, you know, major and minor, G major, D major, you know, A major, C major, A minor, D minor, and then learn like seventh chords, dominant seventh chords, A seventh, C seventh, D seventh. Then learn some minor seventh chords, A minor seventh, D minor seventh, E minor seventh, and then major seventh chords, C major seventh, D major seventh, E major seventh, F major seventh. You know, that's a nice progression that will keep adding chords to your chord vocabulary. So important as a guitar player. As a musician, you got to know lots of chords. Otherwise, you're going to be playing the same thing over and over again. And just a lot of those, all those chords are just adding one note to the chords that you already know. So, but it's a total different sound and will really add a lot to your playing. So keep learning new chords, and that's kind of the structure that we've been teaching here at Next Level Guitar. And you can do it. You know, it sounds like a lot, but after a while, these become automatic, and we give you lots of playing examples. We'll give you some progressions, because this way you're learning the chords, and then you're applying them, right? And if you don't know those chords, any of the chords that I talk about here, go to our website at nextlevelguitar.com. We have a free chord library, free service that we have on our website, where on the main taskbar, click on chord library, there's a drop-down box, and then you'll see all the chords. We have little, you know, minute vignettes, videos on these chords. So check that out. Now these chords, I'm going to use all open chords because I'm playing the acoustic today, and these chords sound great on the acoustic. You know, with the acoustic guitar, you want to play lots of open chords with ringing strings. Ringing open strings sound a lot different than fretted notes. On acoustic, we want to take advantage of that and get those beautiful open string sounds. But these chords sound great, and the progressions will sound great on electric too. So this isn't just specific to acoustic guitar. Acoustic, electric, classical, no matter what you have, it's going to work. But the open chords really, really sound extra specially good on the acoustic. So let's sum up a lot of our past lessons on these chords with a progression that has a bunch of them in there. So here's what we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing a C major seventh chord. If you don't know that chord, like I said, it's in our chord library. It's really easy. It's like a C major. Everyone knows open C major. Just take off your first finger. Now you have a C major seventh chord. Really sweet, jazzy sounding, those major seventh chords, right? And then we're going to go to a D minor seventh. A little darker sounding. Minor chords are darker. Then we're going to go to an E minor seventh. Yeah, that progression has a very nice movement to it. And then back to the D minor seventh. And then we're going to go to a G seventh chord, dominant seventh. Twangy, bluesy, dominant seventh chords. And then the progression ends just like it starts on C major seventh in the key of C major. Okay, now if you're not ready for that yet, you can always substitute. Instead of going to the E minor 7, that might be a hard chord for you to get to, you can go to E minor. Might be a little easier, but the E minor 7th has that extra note. See, it adds that little bit of extra character or complexity to the chord, right? And when you're first starting, you know, take it nice and slow and just go with a nice slow quarter note, like all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 2, 2, 3, 4, change 3, right? And we'll do it first like that, and then we'll try it with a strum pattern. All right, so C major 7th, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start over. Very pretty progression. Very good. Okay, so you want to get that down first with a nice slow quarter note, and then try it with some strum patterns. Let's do that. And remember, on some of these chords, you know, you got to mute out that low E string. I like doing it with my thumb. You know, on C major 7th or a C, any type of C open chord, for the most part, you're not going to be playing that low E string. If you add that in there, really muddy that chord up. You know, D minor 7th we're playing, you got to not play the low E and the A strings. You know, if you throw those two, see? Play those notes. So you want to mute out those notes on that C major 7th and D minor 7th. Let's try with a nice slow strum pattern. Maybe something like 8th note feel, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3, 4. And really 8th note kind of feel. All right, so nice and slow, 2 measures per chord. And here we go, starting on that C major 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good, very good. So, you know, if you're having trouble with any one of those changes, you know, just sit there and go back and forth between those 2 changes. Get that muscle memory down, you know. Even if you're sitting there like in front of your TV, D minor 7th, G7, D minor 7, G7, D minor 7, back and forth. And eventually you'll get that muscle memory down. You might not hit the change at first, you know, 100% of the time, every time. You'll probably get it maybe 3 out of 10 times. But as you practice it, well, you go 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. And you know, that's something that every guitar player goes through when they're learning guitar. How to get these changes down, how to get that muscle memory to the point where I can just look at a chord change and do it automatically. It just becomes automatic. Like soon, those unknown changes to you, like for instance, if you're struggling with that D minor 7 to the G7, will be just as automatic as maybe going from like chords that you know, like C to A minor, right? That one's probably automatic for you. And you're not saying to yourself, move 3rd finger down, 1 fret and 1 string. You do it automatically. That muscle memory is there. It's ingrained in you. And that's what happens. And that's why you need to keep pushing yourself. And that's what we try to do here at Next Level Guitar. Give you harder progressions, harder chord changes, harder strum patterns. Because the more complex things you do on guitar, it makes the easier things like butter. Challenge yourself. Harder songs, harder pieces of music. Then you go to a song with like 3 or 4 chords. It's like, geez, this is cake. So that's so important. You have to keep pushing yourself. And remember, stay positive. You can do it. And struggling with chord changes or strum patterns is something that every guitar player happens to when they're at that point in their journey. And you just practice the right things, write these exercises down, keep a practice log, try to put that guitar in your hands every day, 5 or 10 minutes at least, and you'll be past it soon. And you can do it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, and be sure to check out our website at nextlevelguitar.com. We have, you know, over 500 video lessons, written lessons, jam tracks, and growing, because we keep adding new stuff, lessons for all levels of players. It's a great site. You'll really like it. We have students tuning in from all over the world, learning guitar or taking their playing to the next level. We have a free guitar forum on there, which is great to network with other musicians. Check it out. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube videos by clicking on that subscribe button. All right, take care. We'll see you in the next lesson. Rock on.